What's up, guys? In today's video, I got another project that I get to work on, and I'm gonna basically start on it today, kind of maybe clean out a little bit, and yeah, let's get to it. So that's my new project. It's my dad's 1967 Ford Econoline super van. It's got camper top, which we're going to talk about today because that's my main project for at least today. But yeah, when we go inside, it's got a ton of cancerous rust, but that's basically the main project with this thing. It's got what we think is a 240 inline 6 in it. And yeah, it's got that camper top and a lot of rust, as stated before. Brakes, I mean, it gets down there, but yeah, and it runs great. Starts up like first turn, and yeah, we've got tires back there that you can kind of see. We've got seats that we're gonna try to make fit in it. And we got that bus seat that we're gonna have in it for back seats, and yeah, let's go over to the other side. So let's go to this side. Bus seat, dead bird, and a lot of mouse crap. Yay. But yeah, it's fine, right? But yeah, like I said, it was a super van, so I think it's got a longer, wheelbase, or it's just a longer car in general. But yeah. Now, why in the world am I working on that van? Well, I need a winter car. And when searching for a winter car, I was looking at, like, there's a Toyota Previa All-Track, an all-wheel drive minivan. That would be cool. There's a couple, like, Ford Rangers, but none of them were in my budget of, like, $1,000 because I don't even get paid minimum wage. And yeah, so I couldn't really find anything. We already had this, and yeah, of all the cars that we have, this one would be the easiest. I think it's on collector plates, so you don't really have to pay tabs or anything. And I mean, yeah, it'll be a good winter car. Now, one thing is that I'm not keeping this. This is my dad's. Basically, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be, doing stuff just to get it drivable. So, like, brakes, I think we're gonna do a new wiring harness, some tires, and, make it good and drivable. Then I'll drive it for the winter. And then once I get my car back up and running, which I'll get to why I'm not driving that in the winter in a second. But then once I get my car back up and running, then this will go back to him, and it'll probably get full converted to a camper, and then we'll sell it. But why am I not driving the car that I already have in the winter? Well, if you know this car, you know that it's slammed. And that's not a bad thing because it's on air ride, right? You just go air it up. However, there's a lot of rust on this thing that I don't really want to deal with right now. And I also don't really, I want to spend the winter to rebuild the engine, get some money for, a new wiring harness, because if you follow me on Instagram, you know that this car has some bad wiring. But I digress. This car is not a good winter car, has no heat in it, and I don't want to spend the money to put heat in it right now, even though I have the money. I just don't. I want to do that when the car's finished. Car's not really close to finished right now, so that's not going to be the winter car. Oh, and also, if you're wondering about the snowmobile, haven't gotten any bites on it with doing parts. I think we got one person that wanted us to sell the seats for cheaper and ship them for him, so we didn't do that. One person just wanted the seat covers, but we got to get it running first, and yeah, we're still deciding what to do with it. It's a whole thing. All right, so got this cleaned out a little bit more. Left that seat in because it's super heavy, and left the dead bird in. Yeah. Anyways, back, it's solid. Need to put some rust converter on it. Now make it a little bit more solid. But got all the crap out of it. As you can see, the mice really like seats for some reason. That's the front seat. That's even worse. There's no bottom. Got the top of the doghouse right here, and I didn't mention this, but we have to rebuild that entire doghouse that goes around because it's shot. But at least the top is good. But of course, the only one that you can find is the tops. The sides are impossible to find. Got 2 new tires, white walls, obviously. Got some parts in there that I don't want to dig through, and a ton of padding for some reason. And yeah. So, now I get the joy of taking out every single one of these screws and seeing if I can at least push it up. And then probably tonight, when my dad gets home, we might be able to take that top off. Yay. Alright, so as you can see, I've been having fun. So you gotta use that to get the screws out. But some of the screws, they kind of just stop. So you gotta use the pry bar and push them down while also using the impact to pull them out. Not fun. And then I gotta take off these metal pieces so that I can get to the screws, which they put underneath that. Like those two. And those screws are doing the same thing, where you gotta push them down with the pry bar. And also, I thought we got rid of wood in cars in like the 20s. Come on. Really? But yeah, I'm not gonna take that down yet. I don't want to do that yet. I hate doing it. So I'm gonna figure out how to get that down, and then I'll get back to getting screws out. Alright, so I got most of those screws off on that side. There's a lot of mouse poop. I'm just gonna say that. And a lot of screws. You can see in there. It's full of screws. And there's still more. I got a ton of rust on me. Probably a bunch of diseases. So I'm gonna go wash myself off. And yeah, and that thing, that goes in the pop top and you roll it out for a bed. That's also full of mouse poop. So we're not using that anytime soon. But yeah, I feel like I need to get the diseases off of me, and Gus also wants to play, so yeah, probably get back on this tonight. And yeah, we'll get back to it. Alright, it's the evening, and yeah, hurt my hand. Get back to that. But the car is now in the garage. I already got this door off, and took the doghouse off, and it's very rusty. And yeah, and got remnants down there, and yeah, but yeah, we'll have to grease up the shifter guy, the 3 on the tree, because it's my it doesn't go into first, it only goes into third and reverse, so we're gonna have to fix that. But what was I doing? I was doing something over here, and I reach over and there's a piece of metal going right up, and sliced it, and there's, right where those band-aids are, there's a little slit down my fingers. So yeah, hopefully I don't need stitches, but yeah. So probably get back on this maybe tomorrow if I feel like it, if the hand decides to let me do it. And yeah. Alright, next day, we're cleaning up. There's like grease stuff on here and rust. So we're trying to clean that up. So I went broke. Bought this like profiler guy from Harbor Freight. You've probably seen the ads for it. So I'll get back to you on how that works. And yeah, hand's still all messed up, but yeah, we'll get back to you with how this thing turns out. Alright, so what we did today, it's hard to film when you're in the work and when you only have one hand. But yeah, got that floor out, got that floor out, and we got this out, and got this, which is that patch panel. So we're gonna get a bead roll on that and probably bend this part up and have to chop out a little bit more of the rot right there, and then we'll slide that in there, and then we'll build the sides soon. And then we have to build a new doghouse, so we might extend it out a little bit. And we're also thinking of building a little scoop that scoops air into the radiator. But other than that, that's kind of all we've done today. It's just a ton of rust and using the air hammer, and yeah. And that, the guy that we just bought, it works pretty decently to get most of the surface stuff off. And then we've got rust converter that we're going to try. But yeah, we'll get on this again tomorrow. Alright, it is Sunday. And we've done more stuff. I already showed you that. I already showed you all this. But I haven't shown you that. I think there's a hole in my roof. Actually, there's one right there. And now I see it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. But, yeah, I had some goo on the top we had to scrape off. That's kind of it. It's kind of all we did today. Got kind of tired. Scar on my hand is sort of healing. Need to put a band-aid back on it. But, other than that, it's pretty good. So, yeah. Maybe get back on it tomorrow. Again.